There are wounds that never bleed, and scars that never show, but they control your life. Silently. That fear of being abandoned, that voice that says you're not good enough, that craving for love, but terror of intimacy, they didn't come out of nowhere. What if I told you that the way you love, the way you fight, the way you sabotage your own happiness was programmed into you before you could even spell your name? A child doesn't need to be hit to be wounded. Sometimes the silence is loud enough to break the soul. And the most terrifying part? Most people never realize they're living someone else's script, a story written by a 5-year-old version of themselves. But tonight, we open the door to the memories you buried, the emotions you avoided, and the healing you deserve. This is not just psychology. This is personal. Child psychology isn't about understanding kids. It's about understanding ourselves. Every adult, no matter how successful, how strong, how independent, was once a little child, looking for safety, craving love, trying to make sense of a world they didn't understand. And those early years, they didn't just influence us, they built us. That fear of rejection you carry today, it might be the echo of being left out in school, or a cold silence from your parents when you needed them most. That perfectionism that keeps you awake at night. Maybe it started when you were only praised for your achievements, not for who you were. You see, childhood isn't just a phase, it's a blueprint, a set of invisible instructions that shape the adult mind. Psychologists like Jean Piaget and John Bowlby proved it. The way we are held, spoken to, disciplined, all of it writes the script for how we feel about ourselves and how we connect with the world. The problem? Most of that script was written before we were old enough to read it. But what if you could go back, not to change the past, but to understand it, to stop repeating the same patterns, and finally, to break free? A child looks small, harmless, even fragile. But inside, a storm is happening. Billions of neurons firing, new connections forming every second, a world being built from scratch. By the age of 3, a child's brain is twice as active as an adult's, twice as sensitive, twice as open. Every smile, every frown, every moment of connection or rejection leaves a trace. It's like walking through fresh snow. Every footprint is recorded. But here's what most people don't realize. Children don't just absorb information, they make meaning. When a mother is distracted, the child doesn't think, she's busy. They think, I'm not important. When a father yells, the child doesn't wonder about stress. They feel shame, deep, cutting shame. These aren't just passing thoughts. They become core beliefs, silent rules that shape how we see the world. I have to be perfect to be loved. My feelings are dangerous. No one will stay. If I show weakness, I'll be hurt. These beliefs don't fade with age. They evolve. They build walls. And they become the lens through which we see everything, including ourselves. From birth to age 7, the human brain operates mostly in a theta state, the same brainwave state we enter during deep hypnosis. This means, in those early years, children live in a world without filters. They don't analyze, they absorb. Every experience, every word, every emotion is downloaded directly into the subconscious. A parent's sigh of disappointment becomes, I'm a burden. A teacher's harsh words becomes, I'm not smart enough. A broken promise becomes, people can't be trusted. These aren't memories. They are programs. And like the software in your phone, they run silently, guiding your thoughts, choices, and relationships. Dr. Bruce Lipton calls it the download phase. A child doesn't need to be taught beliefs. They absorb them from their environment, from parents' moods, from how love is given or withheld, from what's punished and what's ignored, from television, culture, religion, everything. And here's the chilling part. 95% of our daily actions are driven by the subconscious mind, not the logical adult, but the child within. So when you ask yourself, why do I always choose the wrong person? Why do I fear success? Why can't I relax, even when life is good? The answer may lie in a moment, from when you were 4 years old. Every child asks one silent question. Am I safe? The answer doesn't come in words. It comes in tone, in touch, in how we are held or ignored. Psychologist John Bowlby called it attachment theory, and it changed everything. Because the way a child bonds with their caregivers sets the foundation for every future relationship. Secure attachment means my world is predictable. My needs are met. These children grow into adults who trust, love freely, and know their worth. Avoidant attachment develops when caregivers are distant or cold. The child learns, I mustn't need anyone. As adults, they pull away, even when they want love. Anxious attachment comes from inconsistency. Sometimes love is there, sometimes it disappears. These children grow into adults who cling, overthink, and fear abandonment. Disorganized attachment is the most painful, when the source of safety is also a source of fear, abuse, chaos, unpredictability. The child is left confused. I want to be close, but closeness hurts. And trauma? It doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's the absence of what we needed. A parent who was physically present, but emotionally absent. The child learns to hide emotions, to shrink themselves, to perform for approval, and bury their real self. These attachment styles don't stay in childhood. They become the blueprint for adult love, for friendship, trust, and even self-worth. And unless we understand them, we keep repeating them, without ever knowing why. It's inside you. It doesn't shout, it whispers, but it shapes everything. The job you choose, the love you accept, the risks you take, or don't. And that voice, often, it isn't yours. It's the voice of a 5-year-old, trying to stay safe. Childhood beliefs are powerful, not because they're true, but because they were formed when we were too young to question them. I have to be perfect to be loved. I'm too much. People leave. My needs don't matter. These beliefs are like glasses we don't know we're wearing. They color how we see everything. And worst of all, we keep finding proof they're true. If you believe you're unworthy, you may chase people who treat you that way. If you believe emotions are dangerous, you might numb out, shut down, or push people away. The brain looks for what it already believes. It's called confirmation bias. So we end up in the same cycles, the same relationships, the same pain, because part of us is still living in the past. This is the silent saboteur, not your enemies, not your failures, but the part of you still trying to survive a childhood that's over, but not healed. What if the pain you carry isn't a flaw, but a program? A script written in childhood by people who were hurting too. The good news? Scripts can be rewritten. Beliefs can be unlearned. Cycles can be broken. But it starts with awareness. You can't heal what you don't see. Ask yourself, what did I learn about love before I could speak? What did I have to do to feel safe? Whose voice still echoes in my choices? Healing is not about blame, it's about understanding. Understanding why you react, why you shut down, why you chase or push people away. Tools like inner child work, therapy, journaling, mindfulness. These are not just buzzwords. They are bridges. to parts of yourself that were left behind. And the more you meet that child, the one who just wanted love, the one who was scared and small, the more you set yourself free. Because healing isn't becoming someone new. It's remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. What if the pain you carry isn't a flaw, but a program? A script written in childhood by people who were hurting too. The good news? Scripts can be rewritten. Beliefs can be unlearned. Cycles can be broken. But it starts with awareness. You can't heal what you don't see. Ask yourself, what did I learn about love before I could speak? What did I have to do to feel safe? Whose voice still echoes in my choices? Healing is not about blame, it's about understanding. Understanding why you react, why you shut down, why you chase or push people away. Tools like inner child work, therapy, journaling, mindfulness. These are not just buzzwords. They are bridges to parts of yourself that were left behind. And the more you meet that child, the one who just wanted love, the one who was scared and small, the more you set yourself free. Because healing isn't becoming someone new. It's remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Somewhere deep inside you, a child is still listening, not to what you say, but to how you live. Every time you choose rest over perfection, love over fear, honesty over silence, that child exhales. Healing isn't loud. It doesn't come with applause. It happens in quiet moments. When you finally tell yourself, I matter. You may have grown up unseen, unheard, unprotected. But today, you see yourself. You hear yourself. You are choosing to protect that younger version of you. With every kind decision you make, the child you were deserved love, deserved safety, deserved joy. And it's not too late. Not too late to rewrite the story, to break the cycle, to become something no one ever showed you how to be, whole, and finally, free.